Welcome to Rocky Top Wrestling, Captain Wrestling Review, starring NWA Bobby Mack. Hey everybody, it's NWA Bobby Mack, and we are coming straight off of the Royal Rumble weekend. The Royal Rumble was this past Sunday, and oh my gosh, I got no sleep last night after the Rumble. I debated, should I record tonight? Should I wait? Should I let it sink in? I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and wait. I will tell you what, the Rumble ended at 10:45 exactly on time like it was supposed to. Actually 10:44 because the after show started at 10:45 on the WWE Network, and that's only $9.99 by the way. The show was exactly what I didn't think it would be. Unbelievable what WWE's done. The fans, the internet has exploded. People are campaigning. They're canceling the WWE Network. Apparently, according to claims last night, after Rumble went off of the air, the cancellation site or link on WWE Network went down. I don't know if that's because of people jumping off of the network or what. But that was the claim. Trending #1 worldwide was canceled WWE Network on Twitter. On the Twitter, as Chris Jericho would say. Bad piece of business for WWE. Let's talk about the card real quick before we get into the Rumble itself. The crowd was hot. Man, they were a good crowd. You got to love that Philly crowd. They still have that ECW blood flowing through them. Talk about the matches, you know, it was unique. I saw on one of the sites, and I didn't realize it either until somebody pointed it out. Every undercard match was a tag team match. That's pretty unique, especially in this day and age when tag team wrestling doesn't get the respect that it deserves or the respect that it once had. New Day and going against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, that even got a lot of people talking, you know, even got the crowd into that one. So that was a good part on them. Obviously, the New Day loses again. Where they go with this team, I do not know. I would expect a heel turn. Maybe even, why not throw in rTw in the group? rTw, you know, can talk. And he seems like he's more over with the crowd than what the other three guys are. I don't know when you throw the towel in on this group or, you know, when you run with a new direction like a heel turn, but it's got to be pretty soon. I can't imagine them keep doing this because really when those guys came out later on in the Rumble, it was cricket time or boos. You know, they booed them, and I don't think it was the good boo either. So let's see, what else did we have? We had the opening of the actual pay-per-view where we had, oh, you didn't know? Darn. Your butt better call somebody. The New Age Outlaws match versus the Ascension. I think it was a perfect spot for this match. It's open up the pay-per-view. You got Road Dogg doing his thing on the stick, which was great. Had the Philly crowd eating it. I can't believe all these years later, this crowd still is able to sing along to the Road Dogg as he comes in. It just doesn't seem like it gets very old. It just keeps going. The Ascension going over the New Age Outlaws made all the sense in the world. I totally support that. I really think that, you know, with one of the surprise entrants in the Royal Rumble, that if he brings in his partner, you can have a nice WrestleMania match, a nice WrestleMania send-off for a legendary tag team, and a nice legendary match with the Ascension at WrestleMania. We'll get into that later, though. The other tag team match was for the World Tag Team titles. We saw the Usos beat Miz and Mizdow. Again, a well-paced match. Nothing new, though, in the match. It seems like we have seen the same match 5 or 6 times on Raw, on SmackDown, on other pay-per-views. They didn't show anything new in that match, but at least it was a good, quick match. It wasn't very long. Didn't take up a lot of time. I can't even remember a lot of highlights from it. It just seemed like it was a good showing between these two tag teams. You had the ladies tag team match. I don't remember a thing about this except for Paige getting pulled off the top rope. I remember Paige trying to pin one of the Bellas and the referee didn't count. I think it's because of the way Paige was seductively sitting on top of the Bella as she tried to pin her. And then I remember the referee telling Paige that she needs to grab the tag rope to make the tag and not lean in between the two ropes. So basically, the only thing I remember from this ladies tag team match is Paige, Paige, and Paige. After that, let's see, we got our triple threat for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Oh my God, show stealer. I have very rarely seen a triple threat where somebody doesn't powder out and sit outside the ring for the majority of the time like they did in this one. These three guys went at it. It was awesome how they took the aspect of Lesnar by himself facing both Cena and Rollins. They both double teamed him. They did everything they could unified to beat up Lesnar. When they beat him up and got him down, then they went after each other. Lesnar looks like an unstoppable monster. They have built this man up to where nobody can beat him. He's beaten The Undertaker. He's come around. He's destroyed John Cena in single matches. The second time you thought John Cena might have a chance, that was a pretty good encounter. And of course that ended in a schmoz finish with Rollins interfering. But then you have this match where you've got arguably the top babyface in John Cena, arguably the top heel in Seth Rollins. They both double team the world champion, and they are not able to get the job done. He still comes through. The beast in Carnage is unstoppable. This brings us to the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble, probably the biggest disappointment in Royal Rumble since last year's Royal Rumble. The WWE has to learn. They have to get it through their head like they used to. Okay, these writers need to understand it's not just writing, it's feeling what the fans want. I'm not saying give the fans Daniel Bryan. I'm not saying give Daniel Bryan the win so he can feel good and the fans can feel good and then you've got the WrestleMania that we all want. That's not what I'm saying, because that's not what wrestling is all about. It's never been about that. If it was about giving the fans what they wanted 100% of the time, then to me, my 10-year-old self, my 8-year-old self, would still have Hulk Hogan as the World Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion. Okay, Andre would have never beat him with the Hebner screw job. You got to give the fans, though, at least who they're feeling. And if they're feeling Bryan, you don't necessarily have to give them to him, but why not feed the guy that you want? You want Roman Reigns, for whatever reason, to challenge the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania. You wanted Roman Reigns to win the Royal Rumble. But Roman Reigns is not getting over with the fans. He's getting a very bad heat. The fans are booing him not because of his character, but because of what the machine, what the corporation, what the WWE brass is pushing down our throats. So my suggestion, you had two opportunities in this Royal Rumble. One opportunity is you have Roman Reigns eliminate the hero. Have the heel turn where Roman Reigns throws Daniel Bryan out. Have that be your heel turn. Get the heat on Roman Reigns for him doing something dastardly. The other chance I think you had and you missed, Roman Reigns turns against The Rock. Arguably the most popular wrestler still in the WWE, The Rock, comes out to save his cousin against two guys that his cousin, The Rock, used to beat up when he was on the active WWE roster, the Big Show and Kane. This was a chance missed. WWE could have taken, like I said, Roman Reigns is out there, he's getting booed for this. He can't beat up Big Show and Kane. This is two guys that Brock Lesnar has beaten up plenty of times. Brock Lesnar took apart John Cena and Seth Rollins earlier in the evening to capture or to reclaim the WWE Heavyweight Championship with no problem, no help. Seth Rollins needs help from his movie star cousin, The Rock, to beat up Big Show and Kane. It shows that Seth Rollins is too weak to beat Brock Lesnar. It also tells me that the WWE has no faith in in Roman Reigns, that they needed The Rock to come out there and try to give him the rub. Look at The Rock's face when he tries to give him that rub. He knows the push isn't happening. The fans are not buying it. It's just like Rocky Maivia version 2.0. So that's my take on the bad of the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble. The WWE proves that it doesn't know what it's doing with Roman Reigns and how to get the man over. At this point in time, to get Roman Reigns over, I say you got to turn him heel. You missed the opportunity against The Rock. You missed the opportunity against Daniel Bryan. I think now you've missed the opportunity. There's nothing you can do between now and Royal Rumble to make me have any interest in this main event match of Brock Lesnar versus against Roman Reigns. I'm going to go to break. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with more Rocky Top Wrestling Drunken Wrestling Review. All right, everybody, we are back. Thank you for sticking in and staying with us. Well, we've talked about the Royal Rumble. We've talked about the pre-matches. We've talked about the Rumble itself. We've had a lot of negative talk so far. Let's look at the positives of the Royal Rumble. One thing I will say very positive is the return of Bubba Ray Dudley, brother Bubba Ray Dudley, TNA fame. Bubba he had gained some. I don't know if did he gain weight since he was last in TNA, or did the camouflage just not hide the fat? I don't know. He definitely looked like he was in better shape in TNA. If I was Bubba, I think he could have a good run. It'd be nice to see him and Devon come back as a tag team as the Dudley Boys. I like that he did the entire Dudley Boy old school ECW gimmick. He had the glasses with the camouflage. He had it felt like Bubba Ray Dudley. So I thought that was really cool. The crowd was definitely receptive of it. I gotta say, is that the longest chant that's been around? I know you hear the what's, but that came after ECW. I'm wondering, besides, boring or whatever like that, I really think that the ECW chant is probably the oldest chant out there right now. And the Philly fans were loving it. They were eating it up. Really cool with Devon face to face with Bray Wyatt. I thought that was a interesting encounter, especially as the Bully Ray character. I could definitely see Bully Ray and Bray Wyatt having some decent matches, some decent encounters, a good story, a hard-hitting story as well. I'd like to see, Devon come in and Bubba Ray reform the Dudley Boys, go against the Ascension. I think that'd be a nice rub for the Ascension if the Dudleys are willing to do it as the experienced tag team that allows them to go over, the Ascension go over. Of course, at the end of the feud, just like the New Age Outlaws, that allowed them to go over. I'm interested to see, do the Outlaws come back for one more match against the Ascension, or do they just dump it as a one-off from the Raw reunion show? That'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I'd love to see the Dudley part. I thought, again, Bubba Ray Dudley coming out, that was fun. Maybe it didn't last very long, and I think that's always our complaint whenever they have these people come in, these past superstars. come into the Royal Rumble, we always are upset that they don't last long enough. I think Nash has been accused of that. Booker T definitely the last couple years. JBL, any of the guys from the announce table that get in, yeah, it's okay to knock them out quickly. But, I remember the one time that Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, came in as a total surprise, and he ended up lasting, I think he was like one of the last three guys in the ring. I think, was that Cena, Triple H, and Mr. Perfect all in there? But, I thought that was pretty cool. That was very believable, actually, too, because, Kurt Hennig looked like he was in great shape. Like I said, I would have liked to see Bubba Ray stay in there a little bit longer. The other thing, DDP coming in, man, that DDP yoga's really made him lose some weight, especially in the arms. DDP does, he didn't look all that impactful, and whatever he's done to his face, the Botox or whatever, yeah, DDP does not look like DDP much anymore. But anyway, good to see him. A good little pop. Surprising pop, and a guy that I didn't mind. And I didn't like his original runs, and I haven't liked anything he's ever done. But the Boogeyman, when he came in against Bray Wyatt as well, just an interesting dynamic. The Boogeyman, as strange as he is, and then Bray Wyatt, as strange as he is, having a strange off in the middle of the ring. Again, I just thought it was a fun few moments. It lasted the right amount of time. Now that's the type of competitor, the Boogeyman. You have him come in and he's gone in 2 minutes. That works. When it comes to Bubba Ray, maybe he wasted it a little bit. Maybe he could have stayed a little bit longer. Who knows? Maybe they could have signed Devon and you could have Dudley Boys in there. I did think I liked the dynamic that he had with R-Truth. It just seemed like one black guy was good enough as the next black guy. And I say that living in Tennessee, whoa. But anyway, I thought that was cool. So that was the good parts, I guess, of the Rumble. Let's go back to some more things. Let's talk about this Daniel Bryan thing. Bryan comes in, and he's gone like 4 or 5 spots later. Okay, we're fans. We do not have to write the show. We do not have to like everything that happens on the show. I will tell you, when I was younger, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat beat Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 3. I like that. A few months later, 3 months, I believe it was, he lost to the Honky Tonk Man on Superstars of Wrestling. I did not like that. Did I stop watching WWE? No. Did they use Ricky Steamboat in anything positive after that? No, he left the company. Here's the thing. Here's the point. Daniel Bryan, just because we wanted him to do well in this Royal Rumble, we want to see him in the main event of WrestleMania, he doesn't have to win the Royal Rumble. They don't have to put him in WrestleMania's main event. That's their prerogative. But they need to find something compelling for him to do on television. Last night, other than the Rusev and John Cena backstage segment, they have not built anything for WrestleMania. That's it. That's the only thing that they built outside that World Heavyweight Championship match. And that's odd to me for a Royal Rumble. Usually you see a hint of something. Does Randy Orton need to come back? No. Does Sheamus need to come back in the Rumble? No. That's too much. That might be too much overload. And besides, we've seen them both come back in Rumbles before. But when we talk about, Daniel Bryanson, or Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to call him, I'm an insider, yeah. YWS shout out right there. When you talk about him, he needed something more than just getting bumped out of the ring. It didn't make any storyline sense. And I'm saying this before I watch Monday Night Raw tonight, and I'm hoping Raw ties it all together. But seeing Daniel go against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, to me, that's not exciting. We've already seen them battle up and down the road, and the matches are okay, but they don't have that. What else is there for them to fight over? What else is them to fight about? When you talk about Daniel Bryan, could he have some good matches with Seth Rollins? Yeah, Seth Rollins. Yeah, he could definitely do that. That'd be a good match. Especially if you tie in the whole, powers that be with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. But the issue is there's nothing tying that together. I don't know. I don't know what you do with Daniel now to get him that spot that he needs to be for WrestleMania. And I think that there's a lot of other guys like that. Seth Rollins is one of them. What do you do with Rollins now? Brock Lesnar killed them. Brock Lesnar destroyed top face, top heel. Seth Rollins and John Cena. Destroyed them both. Took all their finishers, went through the table, anything and everything, and still got up, went in, and pinned them. He's not going to be stopped by a single person. And at this point in time, the way they have built him, he shouldn't be stopped by a single person. So you need to do something to get that belt off of Brock, especially if he's going to leave. And it doesn't seem like Roman Reigns is the ticket. How are they going to make Roman Reigns some unbelievable monster when he had trouble throwing out Big Show and Kane? And then when they came in to get him, he had to depend on Black Adam, The Rock, his cousin, his uncle, his mother's nephew's niece's cousin, blah, 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 roommate. He had to depend on him to come in. Rollins doesn't look strong enough. He doesn't look tough enough to get in there and do that to Lesnar the way that it should be done. Is there anybody right now? No. No, John Cena was probably the closest when they had that rematch where Rollins interfered when he went against Lesnar. But after that, there's really nobody that's in that spot to take out Brock Lesnar one-on-one. So last night, I think WWE missed a prime opportunity to take the strap off of Brock, make him not look weak. The face turn's got to happen. It seems like it's there. The fans are yelling for it. WWE, I beg of you to listen to the fans. The fans are cheering Brock Lesnar. They are booing Roman Reigns. Why don't you do what the fans are asking you to do? They're demanding that you do it. This is what professional wrestling was built on. Listening what the fan base says and then following through with it. You know, it's like Roddy Piper. Oh, this Piper's Pit. I hate him. But anyway, he does talk about when he comes out, and any of the older school guys, when they come out, this is what Piper describes. He stops in the aisleway. He looks at his opponent, but while he's doing that showmanship, he's listening to the fans. And he says some of his matches, when a promoter tells him, yeah, you've got 15 minutes. He goes, I don't know if I can do it in 15 minutes. I got to read the fan base. Because he says sometimes for that 15 minutes, he needs to come out, and that first minute or two needs to be, a 10. It needs to be nonstop action, fist are flying, start out in a fist of fury. But then he says sometimes, the crowd is so, worked up from the previous match, he comes out on a 1. And he slows them down. He controls the fans. And that's what WWE is lacking right now. These writers, these reality TV writers, these comedy writers, these WWE writers don't understand that. And I dare say the agents like Ricky Steamboat, like Arn Anderson, like Fit Finlay, like Dean Malenko, I dare say these guys don't know how to get their athletes to follow that story that the writer has and mesh it into one single person. I think that's why we have so many guys that are all carbon copies of each other. Yeah, Ziggler sells a little bit better than most of them. But besides that, what else is there that separates Ziggler from, Daniel Bryan? What else separates, Seth Rollins from Dean Ambrose? A little bit of, nuances that they have, in the way they do their interviews that are scripted. I think really they're scripting too much, and I've heard Jim Ross say this on his podcast as well. So maybe I'm in good company. Maybe it's just his idea, and I'm just saying it here to you guys. But they're scripting too much. They're not allowing for the fan base to take control. I remember back in the day, and I'm old. I remember back in the day when the Honky Tonk Man came in. When Honky Tonk Man came into the WWF, believe it or not, he was being pushed as a face. That's right. He was being pushed as a good guy. He wasn't with Jimmy Hart. He was, in fact, he would say in interviews that he was Hulk Hogan's friend. He was a friend of Hulk Hogan. So he tried to ride Hogan's coattails of being popular. The fans booed him out of the building. And back then, we as fans, we got spoon-fed, things, and we accepted them. It wasn't like it is today. There was no internet. I didn't walk 5 miles in the snow to school, but I lived in South Florida, so there was no snow. But anyway, they recognized it immediately, and they turned him heel. So WWE, what they need to do is sit back, and I guess maybe they need to get these writers to work for the agents instead of the other way around. Maybe these writers need to come in and learn what professional wrestling is, learn what it's like to perform in front of a crowd, and that way they would be able to write better television. They'd be able to write better for these guys to get over. And that's the issue right now. Guys are having trouble getting over. Last night was a prime example. This push with Roman Reigns has been a prime example. The push last year with Batista was a prime example of WWE losing focus on what got them to the game. And when I talk about the game, I'm not talking about Triple H. I'm talking about what got them to the top of the pyramid. When they were down, they listened to the fans and they did what the fans wanted them to do. They didn't necessarily, the fans say, hey, I want Stone Cold to be the champion and not this person. No, that's not how you listen to the fans. You listen to the fans by the reaction that you're getting from the or getting to the talent. You listen to the fans and hear how they're treating the talent. If they're beating the talent up, if they're booing them, they do not want them in that spot. Prime example, X-Pac. Came off the face run on D-Generation X, got his X Factor group, and they booed not because they were the bad guys. They booed them because they didn't want to deal with them. You've now got that with the New Day. Embrace the boos. Embrace the boos. If they're booing you, then give them something more to boo about. Roman Reigns, if they're booing you, knock your cousin's head off The Rock and give them something to boo about. Beat up Daniel Bryan. Give them something to boo about. The New Day, they're booing you, give them something to boo about. Attack somebody. Hurt somebody. Instead of wrestling against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, join them. Do something that's going to get them to turn those boos into we don't care boos, into boos that it's going to get you over, that's going to get negative signs written about you, that's going to maybe even sell a t-shirt or two, because you know what? When you become bad enough, all of a sudden people start liking you again. So that's all I've got here for Rocky Top Wrestling this week. I hope, the WWE writers are listening, because, I know they're they make a ton of money, and I don't. But I'm sure that they should be listening to me. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys. I really do appreciate everybody listening to Rocky Top Wrestling Drunken Wrestling Review. I'm not giving up on WWE. I've been a fan for way too long. I know they're going to pull through all this. So let's keep watching. Let's watch Monday Night Raw tonight. I might come up with another short podcast for the end of this week. After I watch Monday Night Raw, let it all settle. We've got plenty more interviews with the Young Gun Cody Isis to throw at you, and plenty of wrestling to talk about, because the road to Wrestlemania has just begun, and Rocky Top Wrestling has just begun, drinking their beer. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to join us on our Twitter page, on our YouTube channel, and our Facebook page. You can play along with Rocky Top Wrestling all week long at Rocky Top Wrestling on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.